Pratibha. Is it audible? Sound is audible? Good morning, everyone. Sound is audible, right? We'll start the class now. We will not waste too much time. Okay. So let us start. Last class, Deepika, tell me in the middle, okay? Remind me, but in the middle somewhere. Thank you. So look here. I hope all of you remember this diagram, right? Yesterday we were discussing this only, last part. So what was I telling was, imagine here is a hill. There is a hill. Okay, now concentrate everyone. Okay, look here. So there is a hill and here there are these plants. I want these plants to keep moving. So I want these plants to keep getting kinetic energy. Moving matlab what? Kinetic energy. So what I do, I roll a ball from here. I roll it. So as it falls down because of gravity, I'm not doing anything. Gravity will bring it down. So as gravity brings it down, whatever kinetic energy the ball has gained by collision, it is transferring to the leaves. Okay. So by the time the ball reached here, all its kinetic energy is given to the leaves. And if these leaves were atoms in a bulb, the bulb would glow. The bulb would glow. Okay, because of the heat produced. I forgot to mute. Let me just mute. Some of you are. So as this ball is moving, whatever kinetic energy the ball has lost, or you can say whatever potential energy it has lost, that goes into its kinetic energy. Then because of collision, that kinetic energy goes to the leaves, kinetic energy of the leaves. Okay. But once it reaches here, then basically the leaves will stop moving. So if I want these leaves to continuously move, if I want this ball to continuously move, what I must do? I must apply a force from outside while going up. Against which force? Gravity force. What was this force called? If you remember the name, what was the name given to this force? If you remember, I told you something. You can tell Pankaj sir force also, but I told it something force. Lift force. Airlift, not airlift, lift force, lift. So there is some lift which is taking it. Okay. So this lift force will take it like this, and then again it will drop it. The gravity will bring it down. Again, my force will fight against gravity. It will take it here. Again, it will leave it. So this way, you can continuously drive this ball to make these leaves continuously shake. So here, it is very important to notice that if I come from here to here, full closed path, concentrate, full closed path. Gravity did not do any work actually, because gravity is a conservative force. Conservative forces are those forces for which work done in a closed path, work done by conservative force in a closed path is zero. So gravity is not doing any total work when you come back till here. However, the lift force has done some positive work, because lift force occurs only from here to here. Understood this part or not? So though gravity is not doing any work, it doesn't mean we don't need gravity, because it is gravity which is making the leaves shake, remember. So that is also important to remember. Same thing, you come here. If you have a battery, there will be a positive rod, there will be a negative rod, right? So outside electric field will be from plus to minus like this. Inside the battery, electrostatic field. This is electrostatic field. Electrostatic field, the one which we studied in the previous chapters. Previous chapters we studied about electric field or not? That electric field, which is produced by static charges. So here the charges which are in the rod, positive charges and negative charges, will produce electric field outside like this and inside like this. Now, if you imagine some positive charge in the wire, that positive charge will feel force because of electric field in the same direction. So these positive charges will aram se go like this. By themselves they will go, like in this case, because the electrostatic force will pull them like this. So when these positive charges are falling from higher potential to lower potential, they are losing potential energy, just like this ball was losing potential energy. That potential energy is given to the kinetic energy to the atoms inside the resistor. So the resistor gets heated. But once it comes here, once this charge comes here, then it cannot go up by itself. Why it cannot go up by itself? Because there is a electrostatic force downwards, exactly like this gravity. So inside the battery, that's why we are using battery. So inside the battery, there will be some chemical reactions which will transfer those charges, which will fight against this electric field by applying some force, which is very complicated to write the formula. This force is very complicated, students, remember. So this is what I call the chemical force. So it is due to this chemical force, the charges are pushed from minus to plus against the force of electric field. So if I come round, full round like this, you can see total work done by electrostatic field. That will be zero because electrostatic force, like gravity, is conservative force. But these chemical forces are doing some work all around the circuit. That work done per unit charge. That work done per unit charge. See, don't say only work done. You have to say per unit charge because I want volt. Unit should be volt. So unit volt is what? Not joules. It is joules per coulomb. So the work done by the cell in one complete circuit, in one closed path per unit charge is what we call EMF. Okay. So this is something I wanted you to remember. And here the work is done by chemical force in closed path. Why? Because electric field will not be doing, total work done by electric field will be zero. Because while coming this way, electric field will do positive work. While going this way, electric field will do negative work. Okay. This is clear or not? Last class also I told same thing only. Today I just wanted to revise. If any doubt is here, please ask me. I will give you 1 minute time. If you have not understood anything here, please ask. Specifically you ask. Otherwise, I will continue with the topics. So everybody understood? If yes, let me know. Okay, fine. So again, all these things are actually not required for exam purpose. For exam purpose, you just need to know EMF is potential difference between the terminals of the cell. That much you have to know. But again, you should know what is the source of EMF. So how to define EMF? So EMF of a cell. So definition you write down, everyone. So it is the work done by the cell to transfer a unit charge. Unit charge you have to write because it is per, I'm dividing by charge. No, so when you divide by charge, we call it per unit charge. Yes or no? If you divide price of 10 apples by 10 apple, what is that called? Price of unit apple. So work done by the cell to transfer a unit charge all round the circuit is called EMF. Okay, so very simple definition. Definition is very simple, but you should understand, no, why by the cell? Why all round the circuit? To understand these things, I was explaining to you everything yesterday and today in the first 5 minutes. Because when I was studying, I used to think how this is possible, because I know that electrostatic field is a conservative field. So total work done in closed path should be zero. So I used to think how it is like this, because work done in all round circuit means what? All round means you have to start from one point of the circuit, come back to that point. So that work done should be zero, I used to think. So that chemical force, nobody told me. Only after I studied little bit more in detail, then I realized. Okay. So write down the definition. Fine. Then they may ask you sometimes, when is EMF 1 volt? Can you tell me when will be EMF 1 volt? When work done by the cell to transfer 1 coulomb charge all round the circuit is 1 joules. Okay, so when the work done is 1 joules to move 1 coulomb charge, that time the EMF is 1 volt. All these definitions are there in EPL. Okay, please see that. If you want to write, write fast. So this is definition of 1 volt. Okay, so now we will understand something else. Now, if you remember, what was resistance? What was the cause of resistance? When electrons are moving in the circuit, they collide with the atoms in the wire, or you can say ions. So as they collide with the ions, that causes resistance. However, now you have understood, if there is a battery, electrons will move inside the battery also. So while moving inside the battery, they will collide with the constituents of the battery also, like electrolyte, electrodes, whatever is there inside the battery. Usually you can consider the electrolyte. So whatever electrolyte is there, while the charges are moving inside, they will collide with them also. So that will also cause resistance. That resistance, students, is called internal resistance of the battery. So that definition you please write from the book. What is internal resistance of a battery? The resistance offered by the electrolyte. The resistance offered by the electrolyte to current or to flow of charge in a circuit is called internal resistance. So it is the resistance or opposition offered by whom? Battery. Okay, electrolyte of the battery. So we write EMF this symbol. Okay. Now in our EPL, in some books in our EPL, they may have written capital E. So either you can use this or you can use this. Can you tell me why I don't want to use capital E? Why I don't want to use capital E for EMF? Electricity. Because capital E we are using for electric field. Electric field. Okay. So what I will do, I will write not small epsilon. Okay, capital epsilon like this. So big one I will write. So that is EMF. So this symbol I will use for EMF, and for internal resistance of any battery or cell, I will write small r. So now, after knowing these are the symbols, let us now discuss a 3-mark question. Ohm's law applied to circuit. Applied to circuit. So this is the title given in the book also. So what I mean is, I have a battery. Okay, but now I have to consider the internal resistance. So don't draw the internal resistance very far. It is inside the battery only. But if I show inside, it will be very complicated. So what I will do, I will show somewhere here. So remember, this whole thing is your battery or cell, this whole thing. So this is your cell, remember. Okay. So this small r, this resistance is internal resistance of the cell or battery. If there are more than one cell, then we call it battery. It doesn't matter. Okay. So this battery will have two things, EMF and internal resistance. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I want current. So current, if you want, you have to close the circuit. So let us put a external resistance. This is your external resistance. External resistance. It could be bulb or mobile phone, whatever it is. Okay. So now I know electrons will move from negative to positive, but current we show in the direction of opposite of electrons. So current will be this way. So I want a relation between capital R, current, EMF, internal resistance. So how do we derive this? Directly also, if you apply Ohm's law, we can write. Actually, we have done this kind of things in problems. But let us derive it, because 3-mark question it will come in exam. So for that, first you understand what is EMF. The work done to move unit charge all around the circuit. So while moving that charge, you have to do work against this potential difference, work against this resistance and this also. Yes or no? And for resistance, when you go from here to here, work done per unit charge. So this will be work done per unit charge from here to here. What is work done per unit charge from one point to another point? Potential difference. Yes or no? So from here to here, work done per unit charge will be potential difference across resistance. Okay. Plus this part has no resistance, so there will be no potential difference. And from here to here, work done per unit charge for this resistor, we will write VR. Okay. So this is work done per unit charge for external resistance, work done per unit charge for internal resistance. So total work done per unit charge is called EMF. And why I wrote V? Because work done per unit charge from one point to another point is also called potential difference. Okay. So I hope everybody understood this part. Now, this V, I can write current into resistance using Ohm's law. Yes or no? And this, can you tell me how I can write potential difference here? Assume internal resistance also obeys Ohm's law. But for that, you have to do that assumption. So for this, what will I write? Anyone? Potential difference for this resistor, small r. Tejaswini has answered. Yeah, almost everybody, right? So I into small r. So EMF will be I common R plus R, and then I can write I equals to EMF by R plus R. So this is the derivation for 3 marks. Okay, simple derivation. But students don't write directly. Okay, sir, we already know this is also like Ohm's law only. No, total voltage is what we call EMF, and total resistance is R plus R now. But you have to derive it. Write down. Okay. Now look this part. This potential difference is between which 2 points? This point and this point, right? That means it is also potential difference between this point and this point. Yes or no? This potential difference is between these two. Matlab, it is also between these two. Correct na? Okay. So that potential difference VR, or now I will call it V only. That VR is what is called, this VR is also called terminal voltage. Terminal voltage. Okay, which is nothing but potential difference between the terminals of the battery, no doubt. But when the circuit is closed, means when current flows, potential difference here will be this, same as this. Okay, so let us try to write a formula between EMF and terminal voltage. This only, actually just rearrangement we have to do. So now what I'll do, instead of writing VR, I'll write just V. So here, this part I will rub, and here I will write V. Please understand this part. Okay, so EMF is equals to potential difference here plus potential difference for resistor, internal resistance. Then this potential difference is also potential difference between the terminals of the battery. Remember, this small r is inside actually. Remember that. So these 2 points are also terminals of the battery, because this is inside the battery, this one. Understood or not? So these 2 points are also terminals of the battery. So whatever voltage you measure here, you will also measure here, because this is conductor. So all these points are in same potential. This is perfect conductor. So all points are at same potential. Correct now? So potential difference here and here are same. So this V is what we call terminal voltage. So now if I rearrange, I can write terminal voltage is equal to EMF minus IR. So this relation is very, very important for further derivations. So you have to memorize it. Say 10 times. V equal to E minus IR. See, while saying you call it E only, no problem. E only, but don't say epsilon. E only you say. Epsilon will make you think of permittivity. So V equal to E minus I small r. V equal to E minus I small r. Everyone please say 10 times. Now only. I hope you understood, right? I just brought this one here. So V equals to E minus IR. Now, based on this, one simple NEET level question, you see NEET level, okay, for entrance. Suppose I plot V along y-axis. What is V again? Terminal voltage. What is E? EMF. Okay, later we will write differences between these two, don't worry. But first you check this formula. Before I continue, tell me how many quantities you see? 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of these 4, 2 quantities will depend only on the battery, not on the external resistance. Which are those 2 quantities? In this formula, there are 4 quantities, right? Out of these 4, 2 quantities will depend only on the battery. Can you tell which are those 2? Only on the battery. I and V. Yeah? So current will not depend on the external resistance either. I am asking which 2 quantities will depend only on battery, not on the external resistance. Yeah, now some of you are able to answer. Yes. So EMF and small r, these 2 depends only on cell. Yes, that's why we call it EMF of a cell, no, of a cell. So it depends only on the cell. So how much EMF will be developed between the rods? That depends on what kind of electrolyte is used, what kind of rods are used, and what is the resistance of the battery. That will depend on the battery. So these 2 depends only on the battery or cell. But current will depend on what you connect outside also. If you connect large resistance, current will be less. If you connect less resistance, current will be more. So this current will be controlled by external resistance. Also, I mean, it will be controlled also by external resistance. And if this changes with external resistance, this will also change. Okay, so please remember that. So please remember, EMF and internal resistance depends only on the cell. So whenever you buy a cell, 2 things you should ask. What is the EMF? What is the internal resistance? Okay. Now, suppose this formula, let me write again. V equal to E minus IR. Now, think I plot a graph, this along y-axis, this along x-axis. Okay, how I can do that? You can change the external resistance now. So whatever external resistance you are connecting, you change it slowly. As you change the resistance, current will change. As current will change, according to this formula, terminal voltage will also change. So now, if I plot a graph, can you tell me how the graph should look? These 2 are constants. These 2 depends only on cell. So this equation looks like what? Y equal to minus mx plus c, right? This is your m, because current is x now. So current is along x axis. So this equation looks like y equal to mx plus c, right? Only thing is the slope is negative or positive. This is y, this is x, so this is your negative slope. Okay, so slope will be negative. So the graph will look like this. So it will have negative slope. Negative slope means like this. And it will have positive intercept. Okay. So this is quite important to remember. Now, if you know these two coordinates, let me say this coordinate is 10 volt and this coordinate is 2 ampere. Using these two coordinates, look carefully, this and this, you can find something very easily. See, this point means what? This is when current is 0. So when current is 0, now because this point is along y-axis, what will be your V equals to EMF, right? So this point is your EMF. So EMF will be 10 volt. And what is this point? When here which point will be 0? Here which coordinate will be 0? Here y coordinate will be 0. Matlab capital V will be 0. So when capital V is 0, what will you get from here? If this is 0, this will come this side. Right, students? So your E will be equal to IR. So I will be E divided by R. Okay, so what is current when V is 0? According to the graph, 2 ampere. So this is 2 ampere. EMF already we know 10 volt by small r. So small r will be 5 ohm. So you can see only from these two information, I was able to calculate EMF and I was able to calculate internal resistance only by knowing these two. Okay, because this point means EMF. Why? Because at this point current is 0. So put current 0. What will be your V? E only, no? So when current is 0, your V will be E. And this point is when what is 0? This point, when V is 0. So that time your current will be E by R. So this point means E by R. Why? When this point is along x-axis, so if a point is along x-axis, y coordinate should be 0. V should be 0. Put V0 here. Simplify. You will get E equal to IR. So I will be E by R. So whatever current is here, that will be E by R. So next time if somebody says to you, this is terminal voltage versus current graph. This is 100 volt. This is 10 ampere. Without wasting my time, tell me what is the EMF? What is the EMF? Quickly. I know in connection is little slow. So EMF is 100 volt. What is internal resistance? What is internal resistance? 10. 100 volt divided by this. Okay. So E by R. So this E by R will be 2 ampere. No. So here E by R will be 10 ampere. E by R will be 10 ampere. This is your E by R. E is 100. So this will be simply 10. So please remember this for NEET level. Okay. So what is the main equation for this session? For this topic, the main equation is V equals E minus IR. Now see something important for your 1 mark questions. Note, when I have battery like this with internal resistance and I connect external resistance like this, current flows like this. So current goes in the battery, it goes like this, correct now? Like this. So it starts from plus terminal, That time, if you measure the voltage between this point and this point, you don't get E, remember. Why? Because there is small r also. So the voltage here will be V. And what is the formula for that voltage? E minus IR. You can also write I into capital R, okay? But forget that part right now. So this V I can write E minus IR. So you can see when the current is given by the battery, that time this is the formula, and you can clearly see V is less than E, because if this is 10, this is 2, product is 2, this will be 8. So V is less than E. So terminal voltage between the terminals of the battery when the battery is in the closed circuit, remember. If current was not coming, suppose it was in open, suppose battery was not connected to anything. If battery was not connected to anything, can you tell me what will be your V? That time the terminal voltage will be nothing but EMF. Because if no current is flowing, then these two should be equal, right? That is why EMF is also called potential difference between the terminals when the battery is not giving any current. Okay. Actually, one of the girl wrote this definition yesterday, I remember. Okay. So this is what we have seen. Now tell me, question, can terminal voltage be greater than EMF? If yes, when? Yeah, think about this. Everybody, question is right now when this is the circuit and this is how the current is flowing, you write V equal to E minus IR. Already I have derived this formula. Don't forget the derivation. My question is, can terminal voltage be greater than EMF? If yes, when? No. Okay, Kirti is saying no. Anybody else? Think about this. I'll give you 1 minute time. When everyone is saying no, answer is, look here. Yes. See, if the answer was no, why will I ask this part? Use little logic, no? So answer is yes, it can be greater. When it can be greater? Yeah, Sitija has written correctly. If current is in opposite direction, if current was going this way, of course, in this circuit, current cannot go this way. But let us say I put here another bigger battery. So current will flow this way like that. So look carefully this part. If current is flowing this way, okay, matlab you are sending current to the positive terminal. This process will be called charging of the battery, right? In your mobile phones, both batteries are there, right? Now it's not like you keep using your mobile phone forever and ever, right? Sometimes it gets discharged. So you connect it to a bigger voltage. Which bigger voltage? The power supply. Then current that time will go into the battery. So usually battery's job is to give current. That is why we buy batteries. So usually this is the job of battery, to give current. So usually V is less than E, no doubt. But sometimes current may flow this way. If there is a bigger battery here, then current may go like this. In that case, current direction is opposite to this. So here if I write I, here I have to write minus I. So the answer will be now potential difference between the terminals, which is called terminal voltage, will be what now? E, current should be replaced by minus current. So plus IR. So now you can see V is greater than E. And that happens, we say, during charging. During charging. So for 1 mark, if they ask, answer is yes. For 2 mark, if they ask, when? Answer is during charging. Charging of what? Battery. Okay, so be careful about this part. Done? Okay. Now students, sometimes you may be having more than one battery. So that time we will study about something called equivalent EMF. So till now, if you remember, we started with capacitors, then we studied about equivalent capacitor, then we studied about resistors, right? So in capacitor, what was the formula? V equal to Q by C. For resistor, V equal to IR. For batteries, we will write V equal to E minus IR. So using this formula now, we will derive equivalent EMF and equivalent internal resistance. First, we will start with series combination. So series combination of two cells. Let us start with two cells. Okay. Series combination is very easy. Sorry, this is outside. Series combination is very, very easy, but this formula again and again I'm telling, say it 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, but memorize it. V equal to E minus IR, V equal to E minus IR, and that R is small r, remember. Okay, so let us say I have two batteries with some internal resistance. Remember, when you buy a battery, there will be always EMF and internal resistance mentioned. So this EMF, let me write E1, internal resistance R1. EMF E2, internal resistance R2. Now think this is connected to some circuit. Then current will go this way, from plus to minus. So current is R. This external circuit I will not show, okay? Like this, if you draw, it is enough. Let me call this point A, this point B, and this point C. Okay. Now, I want to find one single battery which will give the same current. Then I will call that single battery what? Equivalent battery or equivalent EMF. Whatever EMF that battery will have, that will be called equivalent EMF. So I will replace these two batteries by one single cell or battery. And where should I keep? Between these two, because these two are between A and B. So A and B. And whatever current is given by these two, this should also give the same current. Okay, don't think it is open circuit. Okay, if it is open, how can current flow, ma? So there is a external resistance, which we don't need. Now, whatever EMF this battery has or cell has, that will be called equivalent EMF. And this will be called equivalent internal resistance. EQ I am writing, okay, EQ. So I have to derive formula for this. Formula is this, okay, remember. This is for single battery. This is for single battery. Just like this is for single resistor and this is for single capacitor. Now look here. For first battery or cell, let me write now. For first cell, what will be that formula? V equal to E minus IR. Look here. V matlab what? Terminal voltage. Potential difference between 2 points. So this terminal voltage here. So I can write that as VAC. What is VAC? Terminal voltage here. That will be what? E1 minus because current is going this way. It is not charging. It is giving current. So minus I into R1. Correct, na? For second cell, what is the terminal voltage for second cell? Terminal voltage means voltage between the terminals when current is flowing. So what is the terminal voltage here? VCB equals to EMF E2 minus current is same because it is series I into R. For this battery, for equivalent cell, I want you to tell actually, but I know it is difficult to write these parts, so let me only do. So here what is the voltage? VAB. That should be equal to equivalent EMF minus I into R equivalent. Equation 1, equation 2, equation 3. Any doubt till now? I hope no. Only thing you have to know is terminal voltage, which is potential difference between the terminals of the battery when current is there. That formula is V is equal to E minus IR. So now what I'm going to do is, now what is the relation between this voltage and this voltage? Already we have discussed that before. So I think I can rub this part. So now we know that this voltage is this voltage plus this voltage. So VAB must be equal to VAC plus VCB. If you remember, while doing for resistors also, we did the same thing for resistors also. V equal to V1 plus V2. For capacitors also, V equal to V1 plus V2. Here I am just writing AB, AC, CB, so that clearly you will see. Now, here you don't put this, okay? This you keep it separated. For equivalent, you keep separated. Here you substitute. What is VAC? E1 minus IR1. What is VCB? E2 minus IR. Now, what you have to do after substituting, you have to compare this formula with this formula. So, what you have to do? Try to write this formula this way. So, that is easy, right? I can write E1 plus E2 together here. You can put a bracket if you want. And here minus I common you can take, minus I common. So, it will be R1 plus R. Equation 4. So now, once you have written this equation this way, comparing equations 3 and 4. 3 and 4. What will you get? Left side is same. Left side is same. This is minus I. This is minus I. So who is playing the role of E equivalent? So E equivalent should be how much? Who should be this? Tell me. This part, no. E1 plus E2. And what should be R equivalent? This bracket. R1 plus R2. So this is the simple derivation for 5 marks. So E equivalent should be found. So how you should find equivalent EMF, students? How you should find equivalent EMF in series? You add the EMFs. But there is a small difference. I will tell you first. First you write this. And for resistance, you know what to do. In series, you just add. Everybody understood this, right? You compare this equation with this equation. So you can see left side is same. This is minus I minus I. So E equivalent should be this. And R equivalent should be this. Done? Okay, Mithun. Fine. So now tell me what will happen if the batteries were connected like this. Like this. Then this has EMF E1, EMF E2. Then what will happen? Can you tell? Now it is not same as before. So now, no, it will not be 0, Pratham, because I did not say EMFs are equal. I did not say EMFs are equal. So now the equivalent EMF will be E1 minus E2. So remember, while finding the total EMF, you may have to add or subtract depending on the direction. Direction matlab polarity, how they are connected. So one thing you see here, how to know whether it is in same direction or not? Very simple. If batteries are connected like this, then obviously they are doing the same thing. This wants to send current this way. This also wants to send current this way. Current will drive from positive of the battery to negative. So if both the batteries are doing the same thing, you add the EMF. But here, this battery will try to send current this way. This battery will do this way, ulta. So this will do this way, this will do this way. So they are trying to do opposite. So in that case, you have to write minus. Don't write minus in internal resistance, but resistance is a scale. No, you just have to add it, right? Resistance doesn't have positive, negative, right? Okay. Now comes a very interesting one, and that is parallel. So look carefully. The parallel one is slightly lengthy. So look here. I have topic is parallel combination of two cells. Parallel combination of two cells. Okay. So let's say the batteries are, the cells are, one cell is like this, and I'm going to connect them in parallel. Okay. Okay, so it looks very bad now. Let me do like this. No, this is better. So between A and B, these two terminals, I have two cells. EMF E1, internal resistance R1. EMF E2, internal resistance R2. Now, look carefully. This time current will divide. Current will divide, matlab, this will drive one current this way, I1. This will drive one current this way. So the total current here will not be I1 or I2. It will be I, let us write. And you know, I must be I1 plus I2. And then I will go like this, and then here I will go. So this I will divide here like this. Okay. Fine. Now, what I want is I want a single cell between A and B. And I want to know equivalent EMF, equivalent internal resistance. And the current will be I1 or I2 or I here. Here I1 or I2 or I. Because the same current should come. No, that's why it is called equivalent. Okay, so now concentrate. Since they are in parallel, terminal voltage will be same. Let terminal voltage be V. So I will not write VAB like that, because you know this AB, this AB. So it is parallel, and here AB. So terminal voltage here will be V, here also it will be V. So terminal voltage will be common for all of them. So what will be formula for the first battery, for first cell? See, first apply the formula. What is the formula? V equal to E minus IR. Minus because right now they are giving current. Okay, so minus only you write. So what is V? V is common for everyone. So what is the formula? V equal to E1, first one, okay. Minus, current is not I, remember here. Here current is I1, be careful. So I1 minus I1 R1. So same formula I am applying, but this time I know voltage will be same. Terminal voltage will be same because they are in parallel. So from here, bring this one this side, I1 R1 this side. So EMF minus V, correct? So what will be your I1? EMF minus V by R1. Equation 1. Okay? Write down. This is for first cell. For second cell, let me write directly, students. For second cell, the current is I2. So directly I can write I2 will be what? E2. Terminal voltage is same divided by R. You can start from the same way, but for second cell you write this cell. So V is same, E is E2, internal resistance is R2, current is also different, I2. Okay, so write this formula. This is equation 2. Now I don't have space. So I think this I don't need now. So I can, you have drawn the diagram, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now Let us write for this equivalent EMF also. For equivalent cell, what formula you will write? This is V. So V equals to E equivalent minus I R equivalent. Let me keep this one like this only. Equation 3. Okay, students. So this formula I will write here also, because I have to rub it now. And here current is I, remember. So don't write I1 or I2. So this is your equation 3. I am writing separately. You don't have to write now. Why are you writing? Okay, fine. So now, what is the relation in parallel? In parallel, voltage is not same. No, sorry. In parallel, voltage does not divide. What divides in parallel? Current divides. So since current divides, what will I write now? The main current I is divided into I1 plus I2. Correct or not? Okay. So I will be I only. What was I1? Tell me. E1 minus V by R1 plus E2 minus V by R2. Now students, the whole game is to simplify this and make it look like this. Then you have to compare and find this one and this one. Okay, students. So we have to try to make this equation look like this. Okay, so that you think, then you will know what to do. So let us start. This is A minus B by C. I can write A by B minus B by C. So it is E1 by R1 minus B by R1, E2 by R2 minus B by R2. Okay, so till here everybody understood, I think. Then let me bring these two together. So I have to rub this part now. Please keep writing, okay? These things are very important. This derivation is one of the most important derivation. Keeps coming in your exam. So E1 by R1 plus E2 by R2. Together I wrote minus V common I will take. Then here it will be 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. Plus because I took minus common, no, minus V common. Okay, so this will be I equals to E1 by R1 plus E2 by R2 minus V. This one I can write R1, R2, R2 plus R1, which is same as R1 plus R2. Okay, right first. This part is written, I think. Now, again, remember, you have to make this equation look like this. That is your aim. Okay, so once you remember, you have to make it look like this, then you will know what to do. So since I want this equation to look like this, I will bring this side first. So V R1 plus R2 divided by R1 R2. Okay, this one came here. And this guy will be here only, E1 by R1. Let me take LCM here also. So for these two, let me take LCM. R1, R2. This will be E1, R2 because it is ulta. Plus R2, R2 cancel, E2, R1. So this guy came here. This one I took LCM. This current should go there. Minus I. Okay, now look here. Since I want this to look like this, what I should do now? Can anybody tell me what I should do? I don't want this guy here. I don't want this one. So can you tell me what I should do? If I have V into A by B equal to something. If I want only V, I don't want this two. What I can do? I can multiply by B by A, right? Or you can say divide, multiply both the sides. Yeah. So what I will do, I will multiply both sides by, here you have to multiply by B by A. So B, A will cancel. So ulta you have to do. R1, R2 by R1 plus R. So if you multiply both the sides by this, see what will you get. Here, this, when you multiply with this, numerator, numerator, denominator, denominator will cancel. V you will get. When you multiply this with this term, numerator, numerator will cancel because here R1, R2, here R1, R2. So in the numerator, these two will cancel, this will be left. So E1, R2 plus E2, R1 divided by, this will be left. No, this will not be cancelled. R1 plus R2. Okay. Then here you are multiplying by this, so you will get minus I R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. So this is your final equation. Again, just remember, you have to make this equation look like this. Then you will know what to do. So I know this is ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ longer, but still this easy only. So now let us call this equation 4. Let us call this equation 4. Okay. If I call this equation 4, then you see now comparing equations 3 and 4. So if you compare these two, what will you get? Left side is same, V, V. So E equivalent should be this guy, right? Minus I, and R equivalent should be this, which is nice because this is the formula for resistors in parallel. It should be same only because right now the cells are in parallel. So what is equivalent EMF? Be careful, it is not a simple direct formula. It is a little bit complicated. E1 R2, not E1 R1, E1 R2 plus E2 R1 by R1 plus R2. And what will be R equivalent? R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. Okay, so keep this formula in your mind. Very, very important. Practice this once. If normal classes were there, I would have asked you to write once and show me tomorrow. But now it is difficult. But still, if you can derive this once and post in Google Classroom, it will be good. Because this derivation is very important and I want all of you to practice it at least 2 times. Now, students, the sound is audible, right? Just say yes once if it is audible. Yeah. Now let us see where this is useful, where we find it useful. Okay, it is very useful to solve some very complicated long problems. Okay, so for example, let me give you where it is useful. So suppose I give you 2 cells, and now we know that every cell has internal resistance. So this is 2 volt, 1 ohm. And this is 4 volt, 2 ohm. So these are the internal resistance of the cells. Then I connect them in parallel. Okay. And then I connect here. The combination is connected to a external circuit whose resistance is 10 ohm. So question is find potential difference across 10 ohm. So now usually this we can do it by using a law called Kirchhoff's voltage law. Kirchhoff's voltage law, which I will be teaching next topic. Today I don't know whether I will be able to touch it or not, but that is the next topic, Kirchhoff's voltage law and current law. So this problem can be solved using Kirchhoff's voltage law. However, since you see these two are in parallel, you can apply this equivalent technique, whatever I taught you till now. So what you can do, you can replace these 2 battery by 1 battery. Okay, so these two are in parallel. So this is E equivalent, R equivalent, and then these two are replaced by this. So this will be the external resistance, capital R. Okay, this is capital R. This is E1. This is R1. This is EMF of the second cell, internal resistance. So once I convert this into this, now this is very simple. This is what we have discussed today, ma, in the beginning. Remember, no, how we have to find current. So these two together is sending current I, let's say. So that current I will come here also. So to find this current, I know they are asking potential difference, but first I have to find current. So to find the current, what I will do? First, I will calculate E equivalent for these two battery or cells. What is the formula? E1 R2 plus E2 R1 by R1 plus R2. Calculate all of you. 2 into, don't say 1, this resistance, 2 plus 4 into 1 divided by R1 plus R2. So 1 plus 2. So this is 4, this is 4. So it will be 8 by 3 volt. 8 by 3 volt. Okay, students, what will be this internal resistance equivalent? So equivalent internal resistance will be R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. That will be 1 into 2, 1 plus 2, 2 by 3 ohm. So once I found this and this, then current here I can easily find by using Ohm's law. So once you convert that circuit into this circuit, use Ohm's law here. So current will be what? E equivalent, this EMF, by total resistance. Total resistance is external resistance plus internal resistance. Right? This formula I derived today in the beginning. So what is E equivalent? I found 8 by 3. External resistance is 10 ohm. This was 10, remember. And what is the equivalent internal resistance? 2 by 3. So 8 by 3 in the numerator. In the denominator, LCM you take. 3 is LCM. 30 plus 2, 32. 3 cancel. 8 by 32. 8 by 32 will be 1 by 4 amperes. So I found current in the external resistor. Current in the external resistor is 1 by 4 amperes. Once I know this current, then what will be potential difference across which resistor? R they want. VR. Ohm's law, I into R. This current here is I want voltage here. You can use terminal voltage here also, but this is easy, right? This is easy. So I into R. What is I here? 1 by 4. Resistance is 10. So 2.5 volt. So like this, easily you can solve, provided you remember how to find equivalent EMF and equivalent internal resistance. Right down. Okay. Answer the next question, simple one. One more question for board. If two identical cells, identical matlab both have EMF same, internal resistance same. If two identical cells are in parallel, then what will be equivalent EMF and what will be equivalent internal resistance? Try this, all of you. Answer should be in terms of E and R. So this time both the cells are same. when I derived the formula, it was E1 R1, E2 R2, right? Here you assume both are E1 is also E, E2 is also E, R1 is small r, R2 is also small r. Then what will be equivalent EMF? So equivalent EMF will be, formula is what? E1 R2. So ER, E2 R1, ER by R1 plus R2, R plus R. That will be E. Very interesting. That means if two identical cells are in parallel, the total EMF is same as EMF of one of them. And that you can think, okay, please be careful about that. So do not write here 2E. 2E we write if it is in series. If identical cells are in series and both are sending current in the same direction, then we write E1 plus E2. If it is identical, E plus E, so it will be 2E. And what will be R equivalent? It will be R plus R into R, R plus R. So R by 2. Okay, so this you keep in mind. Write down fast. Sometimes they may give you 3, 4, 5 cells in parallel. That one I'll tell you later. No problem. First, we will study about mixed grouping, mixed combination of identical cells. Mixed combination. So I will have series also, parallel also, total, combined. I will not do series separately, parallel separately. It is very boring. I will do combined. Then you try for series and parallel. It will be very easy. So look here. But all are identical cells. So identical matlab each cell has EMF E, internal resistance R. This is for each cell. Okay. So the diagram will look like this. Look here. 1, 2, 3, n times. N times. So matlab n cells are in series. N cells are in each row. So in one row there are n cells. Each are same. So I will not write everywhere. Then I have this combination. It is simple, students, don't get scared. It is very simple. N times only. Okay, like this, dot, 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 dot. M rows. M rows. So n cells are in each row and m rows are there. M rows are there. Okay. Like this. Okay. Everybody understood the diagram, right? Okay. So in one row there are n cells. So think these are number of benches and these are number of girls sitting in a bench. So can you tell me total number of cells? Total number of cells, how much I am using? How many cells total number I am using? Suppose I say there are 24 cells total. Then what will be in terms of n and m? N into m. Very good. Okay, so number of benches, each bench has, let's say, 5 girls, and there are 5 benches. 5 benches, 5 girls in one bench. So total number of girls will be 25, 5 into 5. Okay. So now I'm going to put here an external circuit, capital R. Okay, so I want to know what will be the current here. So what I should do, first convert all of them into one battery. So let us understand this part. First you draw the diagram because I will not be able to draw another. Here only I will do. So let me wait for 1 minute, not 1 minute, 15 seconds. Okay, so now first let us look this part. These are all in series and they are driving current in same direction. So in series what we do to EMF? In series what we do to EMF? In series what we do for EMF? We add E1 plus E2. Please remember the formula. In series the formula is E1 plus E2. So it will be E plus E plus E plus E plus E n times. So that I can replace this by NE. So the total EMF I can write here NE, and internal resistance R plus, because series na, R plus R plus R plus R dot 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 NR. Same story here. Tanush, current will be same, but I'm interested here. And this I can write as NR. Sorry, NE. NR. And this also I can now write this as one cell and one internal resistance, NE, NR. Just now you told me, if two identical cells are in parallel, total EMF will be same as EMF of one of them. So if E is in parallel, total will be EMF. Here I wrote capital E. So this will happen sometimes, okay? Because I am also used to writing capital E. Only this year I am trying to write this way. So NE parallel will be how much equivalent? NE only. Yes or no? Because just now I told if E is in parallel, equivalent EMF was E. So NE, any number of times, as long as they are identical, that will be NE. And what about R equivalent? To find R equivalent, these are in parallel. So you can use the formula 1 by R equivalent will be 1 by NR plus 1 by NR plus dot dot dot. How many times? M times. Why M times? Because there are M rows, right? 1 by NR plus 1 by NR plus 1 by NR. That is how you calculate total resistance in parallel. Okay, students? So this will be M divided by NR, right? 1 by NR plus 1 by NR, M times will be M by NR. Then ulta you have to do. So ulta will be how much? Space is, where is the space? Here, let me write. So now I think I can rub this. So now you know that equivalent EMF of the entire circuit. So many batteries were there, right? So equivalent EMF will be NE. Okay, the number of cells in each row, this one. And equivalent internal resistance will be what? 1 by R equivalent is this. So I want R equivalent, ulta you do. NR by M. So I can replace all of them by one battery and one internal resistance. Now, when you connect the external resistance, the current here can be found by using Ohm's law. So E equivalent by R equivalent plus small r. What is E equivalent? NE. R equivalent NR by M plus small r. Sorry. Oh, I did mistake. Here R equivalent. There is only one external resistance. So R plus NR by M. So I did for mixed grouping. You please try for series only. Only series you put n of them in series, and you also try for parallel. N of them in parallel, or M of them, your wish. Okay. This is only for entrance. Okay, I forgot to mention. This is only for entrance. This is not there for board exams. Now we will talk about a topic called maximum power transfer theorem. In electronics, they teach this, but in electronics also is what? Branch of physics only. So now look carefully. Let us go back to our basics. We had one battery whose EMF is E, internal resistance is R, and we connected this to a external circuit whose external resistance is R. By the way, students, in the external circuit also they may have parallel and series. Then you know what to do. Total external resistance you write here. Okay. So once let us discuss about this, because even if they give you complicated cells here, like the series, parallel, you can convert all of them into this, right? So if you study for this, everything you will be able to do. So now look here. Here some current will flow like this. So what will be the current? Just now we have discussed EMF by total resistance, R plus R. Okay. So now what will be power consumed? Power consumed by this resistor. This could be your mobile phone. This could be your bulb. This could be heater. This could be anything. So power consumed by R will be how much? Since I know the current flowing, Voltage here, students. Voltage here you cannot write E, remember. Voltage here will be here, and that will be E minus IR. So voltage will be E minus IR. Be careful about this now, because this small r is also sitting here. If small r is not there, then no problem. If small r is not there, then your E and V will be same. But now there is small r. So better to write in terms of current. What is power in terms of current? If you know current, I square. And you want power here. So it will be I square into R. So it will be E divided by R plus R whole square into R. Okay. Again, this is only for entrance, not for board exams. Okay. So this is the power consumed. Okay. Just substitute the current formula. Now, let me rub this part. Okay. Now, suppose I keep changing the external resistance. This is also called load resistance. Let me call it external only. External resistance. So let me keep changing the external resistance. Let me keep changing. My question is, as I keep changing this R, for which resistance external will the power consumed be maximum? So for that, you have to use differentiation technique. I will not be doing the differentiation, because now you are better in differentiation than me also. You can do much more complicated problems. So you have to try yourself. If you get, very good. If you don't get, you tell me, I will post in Google Classroom. But we don't want to know the differentiation part. We want to know the result only. So now listen carefully. So this is the formula for power consumed by the bulb. So let me write the formula once. Power equal to E by R plus R whole square into R. So my question is, for what R will power consumed be maximum? So for this, we will use differentiation technique. What I have taught you while teaching differentiation, whenever a function has maximum, at that point, if you draw a tangent, the slope will be 0. That means dy by dx should be 0. But here power I am changing with resistor. So dp by dr should be 0. So now students, what you have to do? You have to take differentiation of this with respect to R. Battery is same only. Battery I am not changing. So these two are constants. This and this are constants, because this depends only on battery. So only these two are variable. So if you feel difficult, no, write here y, write here x, write here x, and then you solve. Because some of you are more, you are comfortable when the function is y in terms of x. So try to do the differentiation, solve. After solving, you will be very happy to see the result. But the result is very simple. R will be equal to small r. Solve this yourself, okay? Very interesting result. That means what? That means as you change the external resistance, when the external resistance becomes equal to internal resistance, that time the power becomes maximum. That's why the derivation becomes 0. So please keep this in mind. Write down somewhere, when external resistance equals internal resistance. If there is more than one external resistance, you know what to do. Equivalent you use. If there is more than one internal resistance, equivalent you use, whatever it is. So when external resistance of the circuit equals internal resistance of the circuit, power consumed by the circuit, power consumed by circuit will be maximum. So please keep this in your mind. Okay. Now let us ask, what will be the maximum power? So what you have to do, just put this capital R here. So what will be the maximum power? Because you know this is the formula for power, yes or no? And when is the power maximum? I told, when capital R becomes equal to small r. But that derivation you have to do. I will not do it unnecessary. So substitute here. So E is E, capital R I can write small r plus small r square into small r. So wherever is capital R, put small r. So simplify. So if you simplify, what will be the maximum power? Maximum power will be E square by 2r square. 2r square will be 4r square into r. That will be E square by 4r. Very, very interesting. You see the formula. It means how much maximum power a battery can give to some external resistance. Depends on the battery. How much maximum power? Of course, actual power, that depends on the capital R also. But how much maximum power the battery can transfer from it to the external resistor. It could be bulb, mobile, whatever. That depends on the battery, because EMF and internal resistance are always mentioned when you buy the battery. So do one simple example quickly. So you have a battery whose EMF is 100 volt, internal resistance is 0.1 ohm. 0.1 ohm. What can be the maximum power the battery can give? Calculate. Anybody? Maximum power. So E square by 4R. Formula memorization is important. Whenever I draw this symbol, it means by heart. So 100 square divided by 4 into 0.1. 25. 10 power minus 1 will go 10 power plus 1. 25 into 1000. So 25 kilowatt. So it will be 25 kilowatt. So that much maximum this battery can give. See, you don't have to know the resistance. External resistance better. You don't need to find the maximum power. Actual power, of course, you have to first find current, which depends on capital R, right? First find current, then find I square into capital R. So how much power actually it consumes, that depends on capital R also. But maximum has nothing to do with capital R. Keep that in your mind. Right, first. Now, some small things I will tell you for exam purpose. So let me give you two differences between EMF and terminal voltage. Terminal potential difference or terminal voltage. Okay. So here let me write EMF. Here let me write terminal voltage. The first is, this is potential difference between the terminals of cell when no current is taken from the cell. or when, better to write when the cell is in open circuit. Open circuit. So when the cell is in open circuit, terminal voltage is less than or equal to, Arey Tejaswini, just now I told it can be greater also. During charging it can be greater also. So what is EMF? Potential difference between the terminals of the cell when the cell is in open circuit. See, V equals to E minus IR. This is the formula we have derived today, right? What is V? Potential difference between the terminals. Now, when the battery is in open circuit, current will be zero. So that time the potential difference will be nothing but EMF when there is no current taken from the battery. Here, what is terminal voltage? Potential difference between the terminals of cell when it is in what circuit? Closed circuit. So when it is in closed circuit, that time the potential difference is called terminal voltage. Second one, depends or does not depend on external resistance, right? EMF depends only on the battery, so does not depend on external resistance. Depends on external resistance. So two differences I have given. One more if you want. Can you tell me which is the cause and which is the effect? This is the cause. You have to apply the battery, then you get current. Once you get current, then you get terminal voltage. So you can say this is the cause, if it is visible, cause, this is the effect. Cause and effect. I think it is not visible, right? So you can write yourself. This is the cause, 3 I write here, cause, and this is the effect. Right? First you have to put the battery, then you get current. Once you get current, then you get terminal voltage. Okay, students? Then finally you may have to know internal resistance of a battery depends on what factors. So it depends on the electrolyte, what kind of electrolyte you have. It depends on the size and nature of the electrodes. So those things you please try to remember. It is all there in your EPL. One small question I will do, very, very small, don't worry, it will not take too much time. N identical cells are all connected in series. Find the current. Find the current. Okay. All N identical cells. Each has EMF E, internal resistance R. So no external resistance. I have 100 of cells. I am connecting all of them in series like that together. So let me show you one circuit. You can draw any way you want. Like this, okay? All like this. And none of them are opposing each other. Everybody is sending current in same direction. This will be like this. This will be like this. This will be like this. Plus to minus, plus to minus. So everyone is helping each other. Yeah, you can say that also. Tejaswini, that's why I told it depends on external resistance, because once you write external resistance, current will change. Now, tell the answer. What will be current in this circuit? I know it will be this way. All are in series, okay? None of them are parallel. See, same current will flow. Same current will flow everywhere means series, no junction only. Anybody? What is the current here? Each of them has EMF E, internal resistance R. Prakruti, be careful. So what is the formula? Equivalent EMF, external resistance, equivalent internal resistance. Correct na? But in this problem, there is no external resistance. So what is equivalent EMF? Equivalent EMF is NE. What is the total resistance? All of them in series. So R plus R plus R plus R plus R plus R like NR. Again, I wrote capital E by R. So in NEET exam, they have asked this question. They have asked how the current changes with the number of cells. How the current changes with number of cells. Answer is, there is number of cells get cancelled. So you put 100 cells, you put 1000 cells, as long as they are identical, the graph will look like this. Current will be constant, E by R. It does not depend on how many cells you put, because here N will come, here also N will come, na? So they will cancel. Okay. So see you students. Thank you all of you. Have a good evening. Try to revise everything properly once. Try to revise. Again, I'm telling, don't simply watch the video.